Hello everyone, James from Kirklees Guitar School here. So, I did a lesson earlier this week about a really versatile strumming pattern called down, down, up, up, down, which if you're on the KGS roster, we have done a lot because it's really versatile and it's kind of like the first acoustic guitar strumming pattern I recommend for any student to learn. Get some upstrokes in there and it's a nice little rhythm with a couple of syncopated little bits. Where do we go from there with that? Now, I feel like a lot of people who are learning guitar on the internet will Google 100 amazing strumming patterns that you must know, or you know, it's all in the next strumming pattern. It's like the next guitar, isn't it? It's like if I buy a more expensive guitar, of course it'll make me play better. It's not just in the strumming pattern. What I'm going to talk today is about accents. Now, accents is not the sort of thick northern accent that I've got, but musical accents. And what that means is within the strumming pattern, we're going to hit some notes a little bit harder and some a little bit softer than others within the bar to create punctuation like you'd have in a sentence. So we're going to use the down, down, up, up, down strumming pattern. If you don't know that strumming pattern already, I'd advise, I'll put a card up somewhere. I'd advise you do some work on that first and get it under your fingers, and then this is like level 2 to that. So that's the strumming pattern just for your reference, and for today's lesson I'm going to be using exclusively a G chord for this. Any 6-string chord will do, but I'm going to use G because I like Gs. So you see we've got the down, down, up, up, down. This is what it sounds like with no accents and no punctuation. So what I think is really important to know is I'm playing all of those notes sort of at the same. I'm hitting the chord with the same amount of velocity with the plectrum for every one of those notes. And you've got to be careful with this. It sounds good for a couple of bars, but if you're playing a song that lasts for 3 or 4 minutes, it's quite monotonous and it starts to sound very samey. So what I suggest we do is I'm going to take the same strumming pattern. You see how the down, down, up, up, downs move to the bottom? I'm going to add 2 extra elements to this that are really going to make it pop and stand out from any other strumming pattern that you've done before. Now, see above the first note, we've got a B. Now that doesn't mean a B chord. Don't click off the video. We're not doing bar chords, not yet anyway. That I call a bass note. So what that means is, for that first note, rather than strumming through the entire chord, I'm just going to hit the lower portion of the strings. I'm going to sort of aim for the E string and the A string. If I catch the D, it's not the end of the world, but the point being is it's a lesser strum. I'm only hitting the bass end of the guitar. Now, I don't want you to just hit that string by itself, because otherwise it can sort of sound a bit... And that's not what we're going for. We're going for strumming. So, I just want you to hit that first downstroke and just aim for the first 2 or 3 strings that your pick comes into contact with. And I want you to imagine that you've just hit an elastic band with your plectrum and you've come back up. Can you see how I'm sort of over exaggerating that motion? It's almost like I've hit a rubber band and I'm coming back, yeah? Then, can you see that little arrow that's pointing to the right hand side? Now that's called an accent, and when you come across an accent in music, it means you've got to play that note a little bit harder and it should be a little bit louder than everything else. Now I'm not talking 50% louder, but maybe more 25% louder. So I'm going to hit that bass note, and then I'm going to give the guitar a good thump. Not excessively, mind. But I really want the guitar to sing. I really want to mean it. That's the hardest stroke we're going to play. Then what we're going to do, we're going to carry on with the strumming pattern as normal with the up, up, down. But what I'm going to do is I'm mindful to play those a lot lesser than the accent that I've just done. So I've got, and then the up, down, up. Can you hear this? I'm not putting as much power into that. Now, it's quite hard to get throughout microphones and through the internet. YouTube compresses everything to high heaven. So I think it might just be, it's going to sound a lot more tactile in your environment, in your practice room at home. But remember, bass note, full stroke, and then the remaining 3 strokes, we want sort of 25% less velocity than you hit on the accent. A good way to think about the last three notes in that strumming pattern is almost imagine that you're playing a D chord, and I'm only sort of aiming for the four strings at the bottom of the guitar, the D, the G, the B and the E. And again, because it's a 6-string chord, there's quite a lot of room, there's quite a lot of scope for adding or subtracting strings, and if you're catching an occasional one, it's not the end of the world. So pause the video if you need to and have a go at that for me. So somebody like Noel Gallagher does this all the time in his acoustic guitar playing, where he'll really, something like Wonderwall's a great example of him really thumping on the guitar occasionally. In these big bodied dreadnought style acoustic guitars, it sounds really good for it. That's a kind of foray and a first step into the world of accents. If you enjoyed this lesson, please do let me know and I'll make a follow-up which is like a level 3, which has some more accents in it. I've got another video probably somewhere. If you enjoyed this one and you'd like to watch another one, have a go at that. And we've been getting a lot of love on the channel recently, so if you want to subscribe to the channel, I post at least 2 lessons a week, and we've been getting a great response. Keep strumming, and I'll catch you next time. Thank you.